Hi guys, Durante here, your transaction engineering specialist. And today I want to share with you a starter pack for business financing, something I've been dwelling with and working on for quite a while here. Now, if you're like me, you're probably used to doing the real estate deals, and I've done them for years. It's all that I never even considered business financing. I basically did real estate deals and liked doing them. And I would typically do 1 or 2 real estate deals a year and take 2 or 3 years off with pay. And that was one of the things that I really liked about real estate financing. All right. But business financing is something that I kind of always avoided. It was mainly because I didn't understand it. And then in my mind, I concluded that it was complicated, difficult, and had a lot of moving pieces and components. And for that reason, I kind of avoided it. I felt that the deals were just too small, the fees were too little, there were too many paths and products and processes and people, and they were very time intensive. And for that reason, I never really even considered business financing at all. However, I had a lot of preconceived ideas that were just totally incorrect. The deals were too small, the financing was slow, the fees were low, and it was complicated. It's just what I just conceived. And I had no reason for reaching those conclusions. It was just my perception. And I was getting a lender that would call me every Monday, and he would ask me if I had any transactions, the deals that needed to be funded that week. I didn't make that connection for a few years, but that week, thought maybe he was saying, did I have some real estate deals that I could put together and put in his hands for that week? But I was totally wrong. He was talking about closing deals that week. And after really looking deeper into it, and realizing that there are a lot of moving pieces, but you don't have to move them, then I reconsidered business financing, and I concluded that it was worth a second look, though initially I felt that it wasn't even worth the effort. All right, so let me give you the truth about business financing, and this is based on what I've learned. Number one, it's a very high demand in the marketplace for business financing. Now, I know it's a big demand for real estate financing because I like that one, but this was a little different. And what I discovered was that the client mindset was different from real estate clients in that business owners are concerned about getting their payroll met and actually receiving funds as quickly as possible. And they weren't really that concerned about the cost of it. They wanted results, and quick results and fast results. And most importantly, they were willing to pay for that. Unlike investors who will buy if the price is right, the rate is low, the motivation is high, then they'll buy. This is a completely different animal. The client motivation, bottom line, is urgency. And that's the hot spot in this market and what makes it really unique. For instance, payroll is due in 5 days. I need a fast closing. I don't have 30 days, don't have time for an appraisal, don't have time for underwriting. The purchase orders are due tomorrow. I can't wait 30 days, all right? So speed is primary and cost of the money and the financing is secondary. And there are a ton of business financing products and services that I simply it was off the radar for me, all right? So let's take a little quick comparison here. On a real estate deal, you basically got new construction, acquisition, refinancing, and rehabs. And of course, you got a lot of variations and mix and matches with bridge financing and hard money listed in there. And it's typically 45 to 90 days to actually close a deal. And that's being conservative, all right? But it's worth the wait because the deals are pretty solid and secure. However, in the business financing sector, you have a lot more products, a lot more services. You have working capital, SBA financing, and that's where you use government funding and insured loans for business acquisitions. I had not ever considered that. All right. And then there are also hard money bank loans that are tied to business financing. And then there are lines of credit, which is really awesome. You have an investor who has an LLC who buys houses or apartments. He needs an LLC that has a line of credit. And those lines of credit can go from $500,000 to $3 and $4 million. And they can be approved and put in place in a matter of days. All right. And you have real estate loans. Now, these are basically hard money asset-based real estate loans, not your traditional 30, 40-year financing deals. They're typically short-term financing. All right. And then, of course, there's equipment financing. And equipment financing can include fleet financing for 18-wheelers, the tractors and the trailers. 30 or 40 of them is considered equipment financing. Financing for daycare centers, for gyms, for daycare centers, for cosmetic stores, barbershops, hardware stores, all types of equipment financing, new and used equipment. You don't have that option in the real estate sector. And of course, you have merchant cash advances, which is a line of credit where the customer actually draws down on the credit and you actually get paid residual income from those services. Now, as I said, business financing has a lot of services that you can actually integrate. And a lot of these deals require absolutely no collateral. They're credit-based, based on credit scores, or in some instances, they're simply based on bank statements, which is part of what makes it fast. All right. And most importantly, a lot of these deals can be done in 5 to 10 days. Now, you think about that. You can spend a lot of time on a real estate deal, and it may or may not close in 90 days, or you can focus on 5 to 10 day closings with business financing services. Now, here's the equation. So which should you do? And how can one complement the other? And which should be first? And why not both? And if you want to use both, then in what position should they be in? And what I've concluded based on my research is you should have both. And if I had to choose between the real estate financing or business financing as a service, I would choose the business first and the real estate would be second, which means I would use both. Why would I use the business financing first, right? Well, it's for a good reason. I got short-term loans versus long-term, hard money, cutthroat rates. I got balance sheet financing basis opposed to credit-based financing. I have hard money underwriting and no balance sheet financing in the real estate sector. I can close in days. Real estate, typically going to be months and no collateral required. Collateral is always required with real estate deals. In fact, it's the collateral that secures a loan. I can do these deals with no down payment. Not very likely in the real estate sector. And of course, everything in the real estate financing is credit-based financing. Freddie, Fannie, and FLACR have an impact on the actual loans. And with business loans, bad credit or no credit is okay, which means you have more opportunities to do a lot of different types of transactions. So 98% of the business financing services that I'm going to share with you are basically automated, which means what? You don't have to do any of the work. Give an example. Here are the 10 things that you won't have to do with the system that I've actually put together. Remember, I'm the transaction engineer. That's what I do. I put together processes and systems for doing things. One, think about this. No emails to read or to respond to. Okay? And no phone calls to make to vet or qualify people or to actually take phone calls. You don't have any phone calls. No phone calls, no emails, no documents to inspect or to check or to review or to validate. No emails, no calls, no documents, all right? No packages to prepare, to submit to a lender, or packages to review. You don't have any of that to deal with business financing, all right? No customer support. Your lender provides the customer support. And you have real-time underwriting, which opens the door to same-day approvals and even same-day funding. Now, this is the real game changer. In other words, I'm your client, all I do is go to your website and fill out the form. It's actually underwritten in real time, which means I get an approval or disapproval immediately without you having anything to do with it, all right? And if my loan's disapproved, it's automatically placed into a secondary lender market for other funders to actually look at and to consider for funding. Pretty cool. So you got 2 for 1. If my lender doesn't approve the deal, it automatically goes into the general market for all other lenders to actually look at, which means what? You have lenders competing for your business versus you hunting for lenders. The lenders actually come after you, all right? And your lender gives you we give you basically a fully functional website with lead captures built into it for capturing the leads and driving the traffic, because while you're hands off, you like to be able to know who came to your site, who filled out an application. The sites are built for this purpose, for the lead capture also. And your lender gives you your private back office portal where you can monitor all of the transactions that you're working with. You can see whether it's approved, it's in underwriting, in processing, and you're copied on all of the communications. Now, that's pretty cool. Those are some really unique features to have in a automated business, which means what? You can run it anywhere, anytime, and it doesn't require any effort, very little effort on your part. And of course, we include with these sites, this particular system, a fully equipped financing back office with all of your tools, software, strategies, training, and resources for doing not just business loans, but also real estate deals, asset-based funding deals, and even large project financing projects, all right? And even how to put together joint ventures. A lot of strategies and techniques are in this back office for actually doing these deals. Now, on the front end, we start off with the business financing. Now, remember, we are focusing on these products. Now, we have lines of credit, which is perfect for real estate investors who are buying properties in the name of an LLC. And of course, we have operating capital, service. You can offer that and make it available to clients. Just in here with these products, guys, all you have to do is let people know they are available. That's it. You don't have to, it's no selling. It's just telling. And then, of course, as I mentioned, equipment financing. And it's a lot more expansive than you may think. It includes fleet financing, equipment financing, computers, software, furnishings, even inventory like for a clothing store or a barbershop or a boutique. And those things can add up pretty quickly. And most importantly, they are fast closings, all right? And of course, you have the merchant cash advances in there. And of course, there's also purchase order financing. You can finance small business out of contract with Target to produce X number of widgets. It's a $4 million purchase order. You can get them a percentage of that purchase order yourself through your business financing services and have them close in 7 to 10 days. Now, the thing about the business financing, most importantly, is the speed. They're smaller deals, but they close faster, they pay more, and they're easier. And that means you can scale it in terms of volume because it doesn't require any very little effort on your part. All right. Now, the benefits of it, what's in our back office, how it works. Well, you have a resource back office. You have financing software that's included. You have a direct access to an FDIC lender, and you have an online web funnel, in addition to a private custom lender portal, which means you log into the bank's back office and actually monitor your deals. Now, that's pretty cool stuff there. All right. So where do you market? Where do you find clients? How do you find clients? Relatively easy, a little out of the box thinking. We can start with our local Chamber of Commerce. All of the businesses listed in your local Chamber of Commerce are prospects for your services. How do you sell the services? Basically, you would email them a link to your website. That's it. All you need is an email. You can call, but why call when you can send an email? And the headlines are basically say financing available, business lines of credit for small businesses. And of course, you would include that they were referred by the Chamber of Commerce. But that's one place. Specialty associations, if you want to work with, say, restaurant associations, you would contact your local or national hotel, motel, retail associations, in addition to clubs and groups. That's where you just a place to market your services. So like if you're doing restaurant equipment financing and want to offer lines of credits to restaurants, then you would visit the restaurant association and local plumbers association, doctors and dentists and legal associations, and social media marketing, and even real estate investor groups. Because what you're offering in the investor groups, you're not offering real estate, you're offering business services. You're not offering financing for real estate. You're offering financing for their business, which means the LLCs who buy the properties should have lines of credit. And it's a good substitute or alternative to hard money loans. Pretty cool. All right. So this is the really cool stuff about this package, this business financing package. One, no client calls. You don't have to talk to anyone. No packages to review. You have your own website funnel. We're going to take a look at one of those. You have a private lender funnel, which basically means you have a hands-off business that runs itself, and all you do is monitor it. You'll drive, maybe place an ad or two. LinkedIn or these associations are very conservative and simple marketing plan, and all you do is drive the traffic to your website. You don't have to talk to anyone. You don't have to read any emails. And you don't have to do any vetting. The process does that for you. The lender's portal does all of the vetting for you in addition to the customer support. Now, initially, our back office didn't include a landing page. That was our basic version. And we changed that. Why? You want to be able to take this and run with it immediately and not have to add, which means there's no upsells, no add-ons. So in order to make it complete, we had to change that from a basic into a pro version. And the pro version actually includes the funnel website. We're going to take a look at that shortly. And it includes your landing page, an application page for your clients. They come here and they look at the loans. Here we have 1, 2, 3, 4 different services. And they basically pick the one they want and apply right there. That's simple. Pick what you want and apply for it. And of course, as I mentioned, we have a list building and segmentation process set in where you can separate the people that are accessing your portal, and you even know what they're interested in before they get to the actual application, which gives you the ability to create a prospect list. All right. So what can you do with it? You can use the business financing for your personal use. You want to buy a business, you'll have the resources to do that. You want to finance an existing business, a line of credit, you have the resources to do that. So you can either use these resources for yourself, or you can use them as a service that you offer other people. You can use it to get credit for your business. You can add business financing to pretty much anything you're doing, because it's an add-on service that complements basically any business. So if I'm a real estate agent, in addition to offering real estate properties, I'm going to also have business financing, which I'll let my clients know is available. If they need a line of credit, I got them. If they need the long-term financing, I have them. Worst thing that can happen is I only have long-term financing, but I don't have any business financing, so I really can't help you, and I can potentially lose a sale. By having the business financing module integrated into your business gives you an opportunity to solve other problems that will enhance your current business activities. If you're a property manager, same scenario, all right? So you can use business financing even as a brand new side hustle while you're working on your real estate financing. But remember, the key difference here is if we had to choose between the two, we're going to choose the business financing because it'll basically run itself. So what's included in this package? We get the financial dashboard and the startup package. And that's why it's called a starter pack, because it has everything you need to actually start. You get the video training that's included in the back office. You get a direct lender connection, which means you don't have to go search for a lender. You don't have to vet the lender. We've already done that. In fact, we have two lenders. One is a FDIC bank and the other is a hedge fund, depending on what you're going to do. But we got you covered. Then you have that lender private portal, which is yours. It's no joint venture deal here on this. You work directly with the lender. He connects you, and we give you and include our funnel website. And this is a completely automated business system. And most importantly is this real-time processing. That's the game changer, because you don't have to push the paper, you don't have to answer the calls, and you don't have to look at the packages. It's all done online, automated from your website. So we've also included what you have is a custom login page. It's just your page. It's private. And what we want to do now is let's just take a quick tour at some of the sites, one of the sites, and do a quick overview of what's actually in it. All right. Now, when we log in, we go straight into our dashboard. But I think before we go into the dashboard, we have a completely separate video on the dashboard. We'll maybe glance through it, but I want to show you the front pages of the site first. All right. Now, just to save time here, this package is priced normally at $575 with a monthly hosting of $69.95 to $149 per month for a total of $674 coming out the back. But we're not doing that here. This is a special promotion. And what we're doing here for this package that I'm going to share with you, and you may want to write this down because it's not going to be up long and there's very limited quantities here, is we're doing a special on this. The site setup fee is $49.95. The monthly hosting is $49.95, which means you can get one of these starter packs, business financing starter packs, for basically $99.90. Now that's just crazy. All right. So let's take a look and where do you get it? You may want to write this down because on different sites, the price is different. You may want to write this down because we're going to go take a look at the site. Then we'll come back and show this to you again. But if you want to move ahead, that's the link you want to use. All right. All right. Now, this is the actual front page of the website. This is what it looks like. All right. And here you have all of your loan programs. The client simply comes to the website. All you do is drive traffic to the website. You don't have to talk to anyone, all right? They come here, pick what they want. You got a little summary of it, highlights of the terms on each section. Term loans, same thing. Here, $25,000 to $350,000. Merchant cash advance consolidation. These are uses of it. Income requirements apply, and that's business income, not personal now. And that's where the bank statement qualifying comes in. And then you have an SBA, and basically some of your traditional loans. Tells you the credit score, 650 minimum, up to 100% LTV. All of the details that would normally be on a page is right here, compressed here. You want a line of credit, business lines of credit from $1,000 to $500,000, low interest, 36-month terms, no collateral required. And that's a biggie in terms of unique selling propositions. You don't need collateral, and you simply need like here, flexible credit. That's truly flexible in terms of the amounts. And then you have down here same-day funding. So all of the key features of the loans are actually listed here. And if I'm interested in equipment financing, I simply click this, and it gives me an idea of the equipment financing up to $5 million. I can create custom payment options up to 84-month terms. Zero down on purchase. Most industries are considered, and even again, here's the same day funding. All right, and then this is the application link. We'll look at that lastly. And then, of course, you have the real estate deals. And these go from $25,000 to $2 million, all 50 states, a 600 credit score, up to 75% LTV, and up to 30-year terms if you want to. And most property is considered can close as fast as 2 weeks compared to 2 and 3 months. But this is an example of what your portal will look like. Here you have frequently asked questions, and we answer those. Here you have that for your clients, the questions, and of course a place for them to contact you with, of course, a capture form, recapture form also. So the way it works, I will come here, and let's say I want fast capital. I click this. I'll read the terms, and then I apply. I click here and I apply. And what happens next is I come to this page, and what you have to do is segregate your borrowers from your brokers and agents and third parties. That's what this does, right? And then once I make the selection, now I want you to notice something here. You can't co-broker business loans. I mean, maybe you can, but it's going to be difficult. And here's the reason why. When you're doing online real-time underwriting with the application, and part of that process requires the applicant to sign and verify that the information they're provided is correct and legal in all. You have to sign it. Well, a broker or a third-party agent can't do that. That's the point. So what we do, we bring them here, get them off the list, and we basically take them to this page and tell them, if you're a broker or agent, please register below. Why? We give them their own lender link. We can't help them here. We have to deal exclusively with borrowers. If there's a real borrower, he comes here, clicks the page, and he fills out the application. And what we're doing now is we're capturing the names and email addresses of everyone who's going to go to our portal here. We want to know whether they're a borrower, partner, attorney, broker, the amount of loan they're requesting, the borrowing company name. And this is important, this borrowing company name, because if I'm applying for a loan in the name, if I'm Durante Parks and I'm applying for a loan in the name of Parks Enterprises, in your lender portal, you won't make the connection. You only have my name, and you won't know who Parks Enterprises is. That's why we actually, where you have this is why this is here and why it's important to have. Now notice you want my name and then down here, the borrowing company name also. And what happens is once I fill this out, it takes me straight to the lender portal. Now, this is the basic business funnel, straight out the bat. And that's how it works here. Just what it looks like. This is how it works. Okay. And what we do is in our back office, and this is the front end. In our back office, we just log in here. And in our back office is all of the resources, tools, and training material that we need to put deals together. So while we're going through the training, learning how to build our commercial real estate financing business, we have this working on the front end, all right? Which is, makes sense, which means why? While you're going through this training and through the portal, learning all of these things, your business is running. And the way this works is pretty streamlined, all right? Let me explain how this works. One of the first things you do, where you can watch some of the things you can do here, ideas and suggestions. But here down this section 1 is where you start. You do this lender connection thing and connect to your lender. That's what your back end portal will look like. You use that link, log in, and get going here. And there's a video here on how to do that. And what you do second, then you're going to send us your link. And what we're going to do is we're going to include your link into the website. Just common sense, right? And then you're going to come here and you're going to launch a campaign. Okay? You're going to copy some ads, depending on what loan programs you're going to promote. And the way you do this, you contact a lender, and we give you instructions on exactly how to do that, what to say. So you'll know what programs are hot and what ones you want to promote. And then you come here and you're going to play some ads. You can do free ads, paid ads, but you have a list of places to actually run the ads. And then once you do that, you're done. And then you go through your training. You do section 1, this step 1, and then you jump down to step 2, which is the tutorials on the documents. We're a transaction engineer, so you want to know how to put deals together, all right? And then section 3 is all of the training. The masterclass training is here. The straight line course, sales course. This teaches you how to sell your services and yourself to others and to yourself. This is all about persuasion, selling, and the psychology involved in it. And then here, of course, there's a script writing course. It's just an hour. And then, of course, here's my local property flipping course, process of flipping local properties. And it's an hour. And then once you finish this, you have all of the resources for locating lenders, general lenders, the business lending marketplaces, niche lenders who specialize in certain things, church lenders, hard money lenders. You have all of that stuff in here. But you don't need all of that to start. And see, while you're going through this training, your business site is actually up and running. That's why it's basically a starter pack. We have over here the software you use for creating documents. But we have a completely separate video training on this. Like this software pack on the documents, those tutorials are actually included in here. The tools, virtual office deep dive in here, where we just deep dive into this thing. Now, as well as web school, we have all of the resources you need. And I don't want to drag this video out because the information's in here. Now, this is the business financing, a1businessloans.com. But what I want to show you is I have a sister site, and this is the real estate site over here. Let's see, where is that? Business loans. And we have over here, those are business loans. And over here we have A1 commercial loans. Now, these are the real estate loans. Now, you don't have to have this, because remember, this is a secondary. Your primary is an income generator. And what you have here, you have the loan programs. And your business loans, this will link to your business site. And you have real estate, new construction, hard money. And you have these professional services. Now, these services are services that you sell and monetize yourself if you choose to. All right. And you have a broker registration process where you can set up a broker network. That's if you want to. And of course, you have a contact page and we have a blog here. But my point is, if you had to choose between the business financing and the commercial, go with the business financing because 98% of it is automated. And while you're doing this, you come here and learn this while you're going through the training. All right. Pretty cool, right? All right. So that's basically the business startup pack. Is $49 per month and $49 to set it up, which means you can actually grab this package for right at $99.90. And if you want to say add a real estate financing site to it, you may have that option during the checkout. This is a very special promotion, and I wanted to share this with you and explain to you why it's relevant and important to reconsider your business financing as part of your actual real estate investing or your realty service, your real estate management service, even as a new side hustle to use for securing financing for yourself or for others. You can't go wrong with it. You can't get it any cheaper. And it's very affordable, very practical. And it's something that we want to make it available to as many people as we can during this promotion. All right, that's it. That's me, Storante Parks, your transaction engineering strategist. And hopefully we'll see you on the inside. So if you want one of these starter packs, go ahead and grab it. But be sure to use this particular link to get this particular price, because if you use the wrong link, you're going to end up with is you're going to end up here on this page and paying $674, $575, which is why it's important to stay with me on this particular link. You may want to write it down. And as I said, the quantities are limited. All right. Thank you and have a good day. May God bless you in everything that you put your hands to. In Jesus' name, we'll see you on our next video.